How y'all doing today? My name is Ayn. See, they get the shirt in there. There you go. My name's Ayn, and today's topic of discussion is I want to keep my energy. I want to keep my energy. Now, what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about I want to keep my energy, that's way professional. What I'm thinking about when I want to keep my energy, I'm thinking about my energy as being the fuel source of who I am. It's just like gasoline in a car. When I'm thinking about my energy, I'm thinking about what I need for me to be able to provide for myself before I'm able to lend that energy out to others. One thing that I've taken note of, I've thought about this. I've thought about how there's times, just like your vehicle, how it runs low on fuel, that your energy runs low for whatever reason. Just from coming up against things that arise, just like it arises, occurrences and unforeseen consequences happen to us all. Nobody's immune to that. So when those things arise, they take a certain amount of your attention, your dedication, your energy to get things resolved. Then you have things in your immediate circle which you want to feed into those as well. And when I'm referring to your inner circle, I'm talking about your innermost circle of things that are just basically, I'm saying things, people, and the situations that are just an extension right outside of yourself. So sometimes we deplete our energy with some of these things, and there's not as much as we would like or on a regular basis we have available to others. So you have to recognize that. Same thing like your car, right? As much as you try to keep your car on full all the time, there's some times where you may get low on fuel. Maybe you might not have the gas to put in there that instance, or maybe you've timed it out perfectly to where you got a set time frame for the next time that you want to put gas in, so you're really only trying to do your necessary errands that you're doing. You're really not trying to do anything in between because you have a game plan set, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's the same thing with our energy. And one of the things that has brought my attention to this, I've thought about where there might have been things that I participated in or people that I've lended it to that unnecessarily drained me or depleted me further than I would like to have been. And sometimes we find ourselves caught in these circumstances. We find ourselves caught up in these circumstances because you're looking out for another individual, or maybe it's just a time where you're just like, man, I really don't have it to give, but I know it's not the most inconvenient time, and that's what friendships and relationships are about. Things aren't always convenient. Things aren't always easy. You're not able to just lend when you just have in excess. Sometimes it's just sharing what you have. So that's not what this is about. It's about calling your attention to yourself and your energy levels to know what it is that you need to maintain to be the best possible you. And to further go down this rabbit hole and elaborating on what I'm talking about when I'm talking about needing your energy up for you, there's been a few instances where I've thought out, man, I've asked to either be a part of something or to do something that's just like, I'm really not feeling it, but let me go ahead and do X, Y, Z. Let me go ahead and be this place. Let me go ahead and do that. And the part that gets to me, the part that agitates me, and what I've seen blowback on, and it makes you rethink your whole process, or even why you started to do what you were doing, is when you go out on these limbs, you go out, you extend yourself in these non-convenient moments, or inconvenient moments, and you get ready to depart, or you get ready to bow out gracefully, or you think that enough's enough. I'm a part of whatever it is that I'm a part of, whether it's conversation, event, whatever it is, and you're met with resistance. You're met with guilt trips on why you're backing out. Why are you only contributing what you contributed? This I have a problem with. This is what gets you thinking on, why did I even do in the first place? If this wasn't good enough, this wasn't long enough, or I'm not engaged in the way that you think that I should engage. Now keep in mind, Ayin does try to look at things from the standpoint of, before I'm engaging with others or events or social activities, I make sure that I'm right for it. And what I mean by I make sure that I'm right for it, I'm making sure that I really feel up to it. And sometimes, against your better judgment, you're just like, this is something completely separate. This is something I can be a part of. Maybe you're dealing with some stresses or some things going on. You're like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. And then you go out on this limb to do it, and you're like, okay, enough's enough. Whatever it is, whether you're engaging with somebody or it's an event, whatever the case may be. And then you're met with guilt trips. I've talked about some of this in some of my other videos. Giving you an example. One instance, to bring this home a little bit more, to make this a little bit more of an example. I remember one time being on the phone with a person. We were on the phone maybe 3-4 hours. It was late. Ayin was in the process of trying to have Ayin's routine down. Ayin was in the process of trying to accomplish goals that I've mentioned here on this video, on this channel, in these videos. And I got ready to get off the phone, and I was met with, oh man, why are you getting off the phone? I'm getting ready to go to bed. Man, going to bed, man, that makes you old. Man, that makes you, and it's just like, well, first of all, I don't have to explain anything to you. Second of all, I didn't ask you for this. Now we have tension here on the phone. It may not be from you, but I'm feeling frustrated right now. I'm feeling frustrated because I just got done giving you 3 to 4 hours of my time, and at the end of the day, it seems like it's still not good enough. Why did I even answer the phone? Or why did I even reach out to call or do whatever I'd done? It's been the same thing when I've found myself visiting. I had an altercation take place one time off of me leaving. Things got a little wonky. I wanted to dismiss myself from the situation, and there we go. I'm defending my stance on why I'm leaving. That's the topic of this video. I got my energy, I want to keep it. See, I have to evaluate these types of things, these types of circumstances, and it does make you, to a degree, kind of anticipate when you're dealing with certain ones on just, do I really want to be a part of this? I've had, recently, it was one ordeal that had taken place, was just wanting to, I'm gonna say, you're just wanting to interact because you're being asked to, and I get it, believe me, I do get it, that some people, it's not about just you. Some people do embrace your interaction. They do cherish who you are, and that's awesome. That's awesome. But at the same time, we have to be mindful that we don't get caught up with the selfishness of, I just want, this interaction up to myself. I'm not ready for it to end. Now, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on this when I'm talking about, I don't want the interaction to end. There's been times where I've interacted with people. Perhaps I hadn't gotten off the phone because I felt that they still had, plenty more to say, or I hadn't left their presence because they had plenty more to do. And when it's time for them to cut loose, cut ties, hey, man, I got to go. I gotta go. I didn't even been met with, I done been on here, X amount of time. I gotta roll. I gotta do. Or man, hey, I'll hit you back. And it's just like, okay, I was really only staying on here for you because you were voicing your concerns, and now that you done dumped all this, now you gotta roll. Now, when I'm trying it, I'm met with resistance up on it. Man, what's going on, man? I thought that you were going this, or I thought, that. Time's up already, man. Why don't you? And I don't do people like that. Now you got me sitting up here thinking, it's just like, okay, you put people on the back foot. And what I mean by you put them on the back foot, you put them on the back foot to where they're thinking, okay, I'm really not liking the way that this is turning out here right now. Next time, this. And what I mean by next time, this, they're already coming up with excuses, or they're planning on their way to not be a part of whatever that you're bringing. So you don't want to do that to people. But getting back to the topic of this video, I want to keep my energy. These are things that you have to evaluate yourself before you're out interacting with people, having your social interactions on. Is this something I even want to be a part of? I just recently had another incident that had taken place. Person going through something and just checking on them. Just checking on them as you would like somebody to do with you, or would hope that somebody would do with you. Blown off. And that's fine and good, because you have the right to decline, somebody, offering assistance or a hand. But it was just, with the way that it was done, it was just like, man, why did I even do this? And the reason why it makes you question yourself on, why did I even do this? It was just like, I had my own stuff going on. I had my own thoughts, and I was feeling on the way that I was feeling, and I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone, which is nothing wrong with that. It was like, to make sure, you're doing well. And then now I'm met with this. Now I'm agitated. I'm even more agitated. So, and this is something that I'm telling you that I've experienced. So, it made me again, and this was before I had done this video, it made me again question on, I got to really make sure I have this energy for myself. It's along the same lines of, in another video when I talked about when you're doing an apology, you have to really make sure that apology is sincere and you're ready for a person to not accept that apology. Because when you're ready for a person to not accept that apology, then you're not finding yourself in a blow-up argument or a confrontation, because it's just, hey, what do you mean you don't accept my apologies? And it's the same. It works the same way when you're talking about your energy to give to people. Had it been on another time where I was really feeling it, and what I mean by feeling it was, I really had gotten back to me, my energy and mind, everything was in alignment, and I felt fine, I probably wouldn't have taken that blowback from being, dismissive on, I don't need you checking up on me. I'm getting ready to do X, Y, Z. I probably would have taken it from the standpoint of this person is really entrenched in this situation right now. Excuse me. They're just not feeling like company. They're not feeling like opening up. I would have been able to look at it a little bit with a different perspective. But since I was kind of already feeling like how I was feeling, and then I was met with what I was met, it made me feel a certain type of way, and it took me a minute to come back from that. So when you're reevaluating your stance on how you are with your energy and how you are before you're going and you're dealing with other people, it makes sure that it ensures that you're putting your best foot forward when you're trying to do the genuine things that you're trying to do. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Like I said, not at all times is it convenient. But you want to make sure that you have it to give, just like a car. You wouldn't offer somebody a ride and you didn't have any gas in the car. Think about it. That's my take on it. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. This is where I'm hosting my videos at. Okay? Till next time, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayin. You have a good one.